Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Million Dollar Media. Again, my name is Max Kellerhalls, and with me today we have...
Vanessa Babzak, or Vanessa Rianne.
Alright, which, again, you are new to the channel, but she has agreed to come on and talk about Anora. For those that don't know, Anora is about a stripper. Obviously stripper.
Sex work is a spectrum, but yeah, definitely. I think she's mostly a stripper.
Is stripper the right term to say?
I personally, I would never take, the first club that I ever worked at, because I am a retired stripper, if we haven't put that out yet.
We should probably start by saying that.
Yeah, I have a history in dancing. I was a dancer for about 3 years, and the first club that I started at was more of a gentleman's club, and in a club, there's something called a house mom, that's who hires, fires, stuff like that. And she was very, very big on the fact that she did not want us referring to ourselves as strippers. She didn't really want to hear the word in the club. She wanted us to call ourselves dancers, exotic dancers, performers, something more respectable. So there are girls with that mindset for sure, but if we're calling it what it is, yeah, Anora is a stripper.
So what Anora in this film is more of a traditional strip club, not a gentleman's club?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it just one's more... When it's a gentleman's club, is it more like... How do I say? What's the... Again, new to the terminology.
They're stricter on, the men's dress code in, a gentleman's club. A lot of the girls, most of the girls, when they're on the floor not dancing, they'll be wearing robes or skirts or something to cover up with. It's a little bit of a different feel. It's just a slightly different environment.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of differences there. But,
okay.
The strip club that Anora's working in New York, I feel is definitely more of a strip club.
Context. I saw this movie alone because I knew going in what it was about, and I was like, I don't want to be next to a friend when this is going on.
Fair.
And the first 5 minutes are they're just, this is the movie.
I kind of like how it opens though, because it's a row of private dance booths basically. So it's all these girls just giving private dances, and you know what you're getting into right when the movie starts, which I always enjoy.
I'm gonna throw my friend Emily under the bus. She saw this with her dad.
Oof.
Yeah.
I actually watched it with my cousin the other day, which we are pretty cool. It's not it wouldn't be that weird, but it was still I'm gonna step out of the room for a second. I'm gonna go switch the laundry.
Yeah. Another bit of context. I was probably the only one my age who saw this in the theater. So it was just me, random 20-year-old, and it was just a bunch of elderly people.
That is so surprising to me because it seems like a film that would be way more up the 20, 30-year-old realm.
I won't say this is a film. This is not a film for all ages. This is an 18+ film, obviously. It's not X. It's not full on graphic, but there are multiple times in the.
There's several sex scenes. There's quite a bit of nudity for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The sex is paid for, it kind of opens up a whole new realm where when I first started dancing, I remember how romanticized stripping was on TikTok and stuff like that. In a big way, strip talk, stripper talk, this that.
I'm not on that.
It wouldn't.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
But it's something that I had a couple conversations, with a few friends, and all of a sudden my feed is being blown up with this shit, and so it was really hard to ignore almost. It's I have girls coming across my For You page being this is everything you need to know if you're thinking about starting, and so just the way that we've romanticized it in general in this country, it's not surprising to me that we would have a film like this. And I think a film like this is honestly good because of the way that anything that films dancing and the money and the lavishness of it is gonna romanticize it, but I do like the way that Anora you see both sides of it. You see that the fairy tale ends.
Yeah. There's 2 films about strippers that come to mind for me. It's one that's really bad called Showgirls. You heard of it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's not great. And then there's Magic Mike Oceans.
What's the one with Cardi B? You didn't see that one?
Hustlers?
Yeah, Hustlers.
Okay, never mind. There is that one.
Yeah.
But that one is...
That's a little different.
That's a little different. That's a con film.
Yeah.
That's not... It's about strippers, but it's more about the 2008, The Crash. So I kind of see it more as that. This film is her being a stripper is a major part of this film.
It also just highlights the fact that it's not as lavish as it's romanticized to be. It's she goes, and what's shown in the film, she's a wonderful stripper. She's talking to people all night. She's doing everything. She's friendly. She's Like she's locked in, you know. I can tell she's on her money for the night for sure, but like she's also taking the train home to a shitty apartment that she's sharing with a roommate, and in a lot of situations that is
I thought it was her sister.
Or her sister, either or.
But, someone else,
like, you know, it's not like she's like driving her own car and going off to her own fucking penthouse apartment or anything like that, you know. And that is the reality of it for a lot of dancers and a lot of sex workers is that like you're still living a fairly average lifestyle, just maybe with a few perks.
I was gonna ask you about that scene that you're talking about where she's making her money and like going up to random people. Like, I won't say I connected to it in a way, but there was a way where I was like, I have been in a situation where, especially, I work in cashier, and you have to, like, say the same things.
Be ingenuine. No, like, you have, like, a spiel. Like, as, like, no, seriously, it's the same exact thing in dancing, you know?
Okay.
Like, so, yeah, you definitely have your little gist that you try to, like sell people to, or, you know, like, your go-to icebreaker conversation starters, and it's all pretty run-of-the-mill. Like, almost everything is, like, you can apply this, or this to that, and, you know, it's gonna work out. So, like... Yeah,
another bit of context, I've never been to either a gentleman's club or a club in general. So, for me, this was, like, I'm only inferring from what I've seen from, like, films and occasional like YouTube videos and stuff.
I think everybody should do it one time just to like get it out of the way and say they did it, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I think for me, it's just too disingenuous.
That, and I'm telling you from my perspective, like as a dancer, a lot of men I feel go to the strip club for other men. Like they're there to show off that they have more money than the person sitting next to them.
Really?
And so like like so much of it is just a dick measuring contest. Like at the end of the day, you know, like you got a range of customers. Like you've got people that are just in there for like one good night. You know, your bachelor parties, your birthdays, stuff like that. You know, and then. You've got, like, your weird regulars that, you know, like, everybody, like, kind of likes because they spend enough money to be liked that much. It's just an ego farm. And we're there to feed that, you know? So,
yeah. It's, on the point you just said about it being a big ego farm, I definitely feel like that's within the character of... You've seen... Yes, Vanya, sorry. Yvonne, yeah. It's been a while since I've seen the film.
Absolutely rich, 21-year-old, fucking designer, like everything, you know, like
literal prince.
Like straight up nepo baby, you know, like
you
know, just like has never been told no, has never, and so like and it's no big deal for him. Like he's like, oh, I'm spending a week with an escort. Who cares? You know, like it's like he's not considering that like Anora is like an actual like
person
human being who thinks her whole life is about to change. You know, like as far fetched as like that whole part of it may have seemed, that like she was able to be like, yeah, I'll marry you. You know, like looking back on it, like especially as like a naive 19-year-old, 20-year-old dancer, like I was definitely waiting for like some like rich fucking young foreign man to come and like take me out of the club. Like that would have been the dream, absolutely. Like every girl wants to, like, you know, like don't get me wrong, not every girl wants that, but like that would have been out of this world.
Yeah, take away all the responsibilities I have. Yeah, no, I could definitely see fairy tale aspect to that.
Even just like younger guys coming into the club are kind of a commodity because it's Callie. I'm so sorry, the cat. She's very vocal right now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this right here. We are surrounded by cats right now, so if you hear them, don't know what to do.
Hollering.
What did you think of the Yvonne character as a character outside of the real world experience? In my opinion, I could not stand him.
Oh no, he's insufferable. But he's a kid, you know. Like he's playing video games all the time. Like he's every like rich fucking parent's worst nightmare, you know.
Yeah, I thought the actor did a really good job.
I thought, it was great acting, definitely. You know, like because he pulls off just like fucking rich little prick really well.
He's in that category of like so good you hate him. Like, and that's like a very, because a lot of actors.
Joffrey Lannister.
I understood. I never watched Game of Thrones, but I understood it. Yeah, because a lot of actors, I would imagine, want to be the more liked person, but then they also want to be the character that's more interesting to play. And I think he did a really good job.
Well, at the beginning, like, I don't know, you're kind of like, well, maybe he will become, like, an American and, you know, like, just live, like, a normal life with her and be cut off from his parents and this and that. And then it's, like, you see how shallow he really is very, very quickly. You know, like, the turn on a dime is, like, everything. And, like, Igor's character, good God, I just
yeah. Well,
poor Igor.
I think before we get into any more characters, I think we should probably talk about like the biggest person, the namesake of the film. Anora, played by Mikey Madison. She goes by Ani throughout the film. That's the name that she's mostly preferred by throughout the film. I'll just say this: fearless performance. Like, especially for a young actress still making her way and making a name for herself to do a film like this.
Definitely.
It's very revealing. There's sex scenes, stripping scenes.
Yeah, she does pretty much full nude. You know, like she never does like full frontal or anything like that, but like comes about as close as you can. And I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I've even seen her in before. You know, so
she was in Scream 5.
Okay.
And she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Have you seen that one?
Oh my God! Yeah, she was one of the fucking girls.
She's the one that gets lit on fire.
Okay. No shit.
Yeah, that's her.
She was wonderful. She definitely killed it, and like I think she's acting like in a big way. Don't get me wrong, but I think there's a lot of like her in that role. You know, like like it just seems so genuine. Like just her attitude, her mannerisms. Her,
okay,
things like that. So like I don't know, there's like a certain like spark to her that like that has to be hers.
Like,
you know,
like dealing with the bureaucratical nature of everything going on. Like just everything's supposed to be so simple. I get married happily ever after, and then just all this family drama.
What do you mean you're gonna shit on my
Yeah, I really feel like she just nailed that. And there's just scenes in the film. In the first half, it's more her day-to-day life, and then when Vanya comes in and how that everything's just being opened for her. And I like how skeptical at first she is, because you would be.
Well, in the first half, if you think about it, she's kind of still on the job. Like, she's paid to go back to his house and hang out with him the first time, and then she gets paid to come and spend a week with him, and they go to Vegas, you know, and, like, they get married and everything, and he's buying her rings and clothes, and, like, she's just kind of on the clock there, you know? Like, even though, like, her feelings are become an interest, and she's definitely starting to like wonder if like maybe she could actually have a life with this kid, you know? Like, but no, like the second half, like once they get that knock on the door, you know, like the fairy tale ends and shit gets real.
My biggest negative of the film kind of comes into what you're talking about, of like I wasn't a huge fan of the first half of this film. For me, the film really wants you to buy into the idea that like this is the fairy tale like relationship, like everything's gonna go well, and the entire time, and it wasn't even when the family comes in towards it was just the idea of
like how is this gonna work for you guys? Like he's 21 and you're 23, you're crashing in his parents' apartment, like you can't possibly believe that this is his home, you know?
Exactly.
You know, and like what are you gonna do when his parents inevitably cut you off? Like,
it's also the idea of like she's not going there because she likes him, she's doing it because she's being paid. And the whole
not at first. Like she stops getting paid by Vanya, you know. Like like after they get married and stuff, like she feels like she's married. She's happy to be there. She was able to quit her job at the strip club and go be a married housewife. Like, she also never experiences any like real intimacy with Vanya, you know. Like
that's it.
There's one sex scene where like she literally like has to like teach him basically like how to like have like real sex, you know. Funny. And so like. Just saying, as a woman, you go through pretty regularly, just in general. Fair. But I don't know. Like, I think that like maybe deep down, like Anya's or Anora's character would have known that like it wouldn't have transpired into something. But like I said, like the gold wrapper on that package was just too good.
It's a very nice package. Like, it's just the entire time thinking like, there's nothing that the film is showing me that would make me buy that this would ever work. This is also either a plus or a negative for the film. I don't know if that's the film's initial intent, because a lot of it is like,
I think it's supposed to be far-fetched. I think it's supposed to be like, you know, this like 1 in a million fucking thing happened to this girl, like, you know, because that doesn't happen to anybody. Like,
I know. Like, this is just the first half. The entire time I'm thinking like, I'm waiting for this moment for them to really connect. And I don't believe that they do. Now, that's not saying that the actors don't have good chemistry. It's just the chemistry that, the way you said, you know, like there's a reason that they don't give that to you. Because like there is no connection for Vanya. Like he's a kid. He doesn't understand like the seriousness of like emotions. And, like that, like. Yeah, and that was the more frustrating part for me, because, and you know what, I'll say this upon hearing it from you, I'm definitely gonna say it's more of a positive, but as a viewer, it was definitely the entire time just like waiting.
What is she thinking?
Yeah, like what is she thinking? Because I'm like, what do you see in this guy?
Yeah.
But that's just goes towards the performance of the actor and also Mikey Madison just selling the lie, I guess you will.
Mm-hmm.
But that all goes to show like how much I love the second half of the film, because then it's just all the characters who are just run of the day people just coming and being like, what the fuck are you thinking? This would never work. And that's when I was just like,
your mother cried. She's never cried before.
Yeah.
And like it only encapsulates like 12, 15 hours in like their time, you know, the amount of time that it would take to get from Russia to America, and just the like insane like shit fest that they go through.
That's what I loved about it, because that's when the film really kicked in for me. Like
any movie where like they have some like small girl like that, like Mikey Madison, you know, just like absolutely beat the shit out of like
that was
rich
fun.
men, you
That
know,
was
like
fun.
I'm a simple creature, you know.
It's funny because like they're like, she may be small, but she really fucks up.
He's like, she's a little girl. What do you mean? He's like, she doesn't fight like one.
She doesn't fight like one. That whole like, it's a
good like 10-15 minutes.
I would say maybe like 20.
Yeah, where they're fighting in the house. Yeah,
it's like my favorite part of the film,
and
because
then her constantly like saying that Igor's insulting her.
Yeah. And
who's the only one that had any like actual give a shit of her well-being throughout the entire movie, you know, like he's the only one that slightly cared. He's like,
also like, it's the clerk's thing of like, I'm not supposed to be here today.
Mm-hmm.
You just signed me for this random
yeah,
job.
It's his birthday.
Yeah. They're not like stereotypical Russian gangsters like you'd see in like, not gonna lie, I do love John Wick, but again, it's a fantasy cartoon
they
thing.
all have day jobs, and then they just got tied up fucking babysitting this whole fuck, like, you know, who went and got married in Vegas.
In the traditional thing, they would come in guns blazing, like start hitting everybody, but no, they're like, listen, we're gonna try to be calm about this. We're like, just listen.
We're gonna pay you for your troubles. We're gonna, you know, this and that. And she's like, no, I am not getting a divorce.
Anya runs off.
That whole like beginning of the climax is just fucking wonderful.
I loved it, and it made me really endeared to the movie, because I was like, I'm really enjoying that there's just these real people in this really, really wild scenario that like, it feels like you're watching a story of someone you met, like a friend of a friend, and you never would believe what happened to Victor here. He had the craziest day. You would never believe what just happened.
I love the mother and the father too.
Oh yeah.
Vanya's parents, they like the dad just being so like signed off and checked out and like fuck this fucking kid, you know, like not giving a shit about him.
Like
at
he
all.
knew something like this would happen.
You know, he's like, what else would I expect from this little asshole? And then the mother, like, you know, like she is just pure evil, you know, like everything you can imagine, like a mean Russian mother to be.
Yeah,
and,
trying to keep up appearances.
She doesn't give a shit about her glass home, you know. That's it.
Yeah. You probably remember more of the names of some of the characters than I do at the moment, but the handler was probably like one of my Toros. He was really fun too, because at first
he has some religious job too. I don't know what he is.
No,
he's dressed in like some like very religious gear, you know, like and he's holding a baby to be blessed when he gets the picture of the marriage certificate, and he almost like drops the baby.
He's just like, here.
No, it's like a phenomenal scene, you know.
Yeah, deal with this. I got something else to deal with.
He's like, I'm so sorry. I have an emergency.
I love the running joke of the car. It's this family car that he just had to drive over, and throughout the film, it gets towed. Someone pukes in it, gets a ticket towards the end, and it just felt so real, because this poor guy is just he's doing his best.
No, seriously, he's had to babysit this kid since he was like a kid.
And then the manhunt for this kid's really fun.
Or the guy, the other one with the concussion the entire movie, like 'cause she kicks him in the nose like first thing into the fight, and he's severely concussed the entire movie.
Yeah, they're like, here, take some of these. It might help you out. How many did you take? You weren't supposed to take all of them.
It's him throwing up in the car.
Oh, and then it's like they gotta go to a gas station. And that's the stuff I really like. It just feels like they just got a camera and we're just gonna go around New York and film stuff. And I found that to be really fun. And you got to see a lot of I don't know a specific borough they were in, but just a lot of. And it took me a while to be like, what city are they in right now? Because they never really specifically name it until like the end. And then yeah, I just really love the direction of the film. Again, I've never seen a Sean Baker film. He's the guy who directed the Florida Project.
Does he do a lot of A24?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Florida Project was great.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I love A24. That's definitely one of my favorite. Like,
I mean, it's definitely gone up there for me.
Yeah, the Florida Project was very, very good. Kind of similar, like just raw, you know, like you don't really get like a happy or a sad ending. You just get like the reality. Like,
do you want to talk about that ending? Wait, were you talking about the ending of Florida Project?
They similar endings for both, honestly.
Oh,
like
okay, my bad. I didn't mean to jump on you there.
No, but yeah, for Anora, I really enjoyed the ending. Again, she's been through the ringer, you know. She's had to be on planes and fucking car rides and just the kick in the teeth from Galinda, the Vanya's mother, you know. Like, gosh, like that would make me just want to crawl into a hole and die, you know. Like.
And then I was wondering where they were gonna go with the Igor character, Igor.
That kind of caught me by surprise at first, you know. But I watched it a second time, and the second time I watched it, like, it made a lot more sense to me because, you know, like, yeah, she gives him so much shit throughout the whole movie. She's so mean to him the whole entire movie, you know. But it's like I said, he is the only one that actually cares about like her well-being throughout the entire film. You know, like he doesn't want her to get hurt. He doesn't want to like actually do anything to hurt her. He also believes that she's owed an apology, you know. He's the only one he's the only one that acknowledges that she's been through hell with this kid.
I also like the little touch at the beginning is that he's the only one to like say
hello.
Well, hello, and also like congratulations on getting married. Because to her, it's still they got married. Yeah, it's still a big deal.
She's happy about
even
it,
though he is one of the people trying to
who has to get this annulled. Yeah.
I like this subdued performance because at first I thought his character was just going to be the one-note joke of just some guy.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate that they did just go into like he's just wanting to make sure that this person is at least taken care of and not hurt in any way. And like even the way he subdues her is more...
It's still, he doesn't actually, it's like he doesn't want to touch her. Like,
he looks away.
He does everything he can do to, like, not be fucking, like, abrasive about it and creepy, and so, like, he's just literally just holding her down, you know? Well, the scene where he's trying to tie her hands behind her back, and the guy walks in and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, that obviously looks terrible, you know? But
she's
like,
gagged. She's stronger than she looks.
No, seriously, but, no, just the ending of that where, like, it's still kind of under question to me, like, whether she has sex with him just because she feels vulnerable with him, or if it's also partly because he gave her the ring.
Oh, like it's another transactional thing of, like, payment?
Almost, yeah. And
so, okay.
You know, like, and it's, like, it's this final transaction for her, but it's also, like, something that, like, becomes very raw and real, you know, because it's not like the sex with Vanya where she's, like, teaching him to be intimate. It's like, you know, this man has clearly liked her the entire movie, you know, like,
I think he likes her in just a way of like he doesn't have anything against her, and then the more like she sees things happening to her, he's like trying to be just.
I think he's like in love with her by the end of the movie.
I'll just disagree for right now, but maybe after a rewatch I'll have to say again. But from what I remember, I saw more of him just trying to be a nice guy, and I don't mean like r/nice guy kind of thing. Like just the scene I think of is like when they're just talking in the mansion, in Vanya's mansion. They're just like, we've had this
her last night in the house.
They have all this opportunity and stuff like that, and he really doesn't really make any advancements. All he does is just at most flirt. It read more playful than maybe flirty, I should say, to me. But again, like, you've seen him more, and also
just from like a female's perspective, that's how the nice guy comes off, you know, like they don't want to advance themselves, they don't want to, you know, like even in the movies, like Igor is like the genuine article, like he like seriously, like
I never heard of it like that before.
Like he you know, like he seems like a great guy, like just his character, you know.
Oh fuck, that's funny. I never heard of like the genuine article.
I think at the end when she has sex with him, I think that it is both transactional and because like there is some spark of feelings beginning there, but like in the means to get some fucking artifact from this crazy experience that just happened to her in the past week, you know, which who knows, she might pawn the ring, she might keep it, whatever. Like even just seeing it again, like I could imagine like being like a burn, you know.
Yeah.
But when she breaks down having sex with Igor, like I think that's the first time that she feels vulnerable in the entire movie.
Yeah.
It's like the first time that she actually shows any like real emotion. Like,
especially like within her line of work, sex is just
it's just sex, you know.
Yeah, it's nothing really to it, and it's part of the transaction to her. And what I like, she hits him at first, or at least smashes his chest a bit, and then he just gives her a hug, and that was
he grabs her hand and he just holds her and he just lets her cry, you know. And I think that like that's what she's needed since like all of this transpired, pretty much, like, you know. And so like I said, and genuine article.
I just love that ending because like it really brings the film home. And
it's like, and she's back at her shitty apartment, and you know, like she might have a job at the club, maybe not, because she fought the other chick.
Yeah, I don't know.
And you know, like I don't know. When I talk about dancing, still to this day, I say that like it didn't work out well for me because money is as quickly as you get it, that's how fast you lose. And so I'd have great nights. I'd have like, you know, like $800, $900, fucking $1,100 nights, and then like I would go and blow a ton of money, and you're counting on like another night like that, and like it just doesn't always work out that way. It's very inconsistent, and you get careless about it. But obviously, I was younger. I can't say that it would be, you know, the same if I were to go back and do it now. You know, I can't say. I know that it's different for other girls. You know, like I know plenty of girls that like very successfully have been able to stay in this and put themselves through school and buy cars and, you know, like get apartments and like all kinds of good shit. But like it was just something that didn't work for me personally. Like,
it's like most things. It's just case by case.
And also like it got really hard. Like the way she's a dancer, she's in there in the club, you know, dancing. But it's like if someone like Vanya is like, do you work outside the club? You know, like she gives him her phone number and then she goes and makes that extra money outside of the club. So like as a dancer, if you're just in there and you're actually just dancing, you know, and the girl next to you is doing extras in the back room and taking people home after the club, you know, it's hard to compete with that.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Like I would never hate on anybody's sex work, you know, like the way people make their money at all, but like I think there's a time and a place, you know.
Yeah. With now, you mentioned everything's like a case by case basis. I know that like having you on this review talking about all that stuff, that doesn't mean like your experience or Anora's experience is gonna be like everybody else's. And just like
not at all. It's all very, very unique to every person that does it. But.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, I'm not involved in any of that work, nor does anybody want me to be involved in any of that work. But I really do appreciate that there is a film out there that does pay its respect to this line of work and shows at least the struggles that come with it. And that it's just another job for some people. And I think that's really cool. And it's nice that, and this is not A24, this is Neon. I'm glad that Neon has a film like this right now. And I know that my friend Emily is talking about Oscars right now. Right now, it's, I think, the front runners, at least on this channel, are between Demi Moore and Mikey Madison. But I think Mikey Madison's definitely got, like, this is a shoe-in for her because she's just, again, it's a fearless performance, especially for a young actress. I guess that's all I really have to say about the film. Do you have anything you want to end off on just before we wrap this up?
Definitely think it was, like, just a really good, like, sheer look on the duality of like a world like that that's like so, like I said, romanticized ultimately. And like I appreciated like just like kind of the honest look at it. But
I want to say thank you for coming on the channel. We have future stuff coming on the channel and a video announcing everything that we're going to be doing. And so yeah, just like, subscribe, and share. And yeah, have a good day. Bye.